Welcome to another Side Quest podcast, a detour worth taking. And today we are going somewhere.
We're going to Kyoto, metaphorically, because neither of us can afford the plane ticket again so soon.
We spent our budget. We literally spent our travel budget on a staircase.
Completely worth it, not the point, moving on.
Completely worth it. But listen. Today we are talking about a studio that doesn't just make anime. They make experiences. Like, you sit down, you press play, and something happens to you.
Something happens to you. That's the only way to describe it. You're not watching a show. You're getting emotionally processed by a company in Kyoto, Japan. And honestly, thank you for your service.
Stop! KyoAni! Kyoto Animation! The kings of emotional polish and slice of life. And we are diving all the way in today.
Full deep dive. 8 minutes. Let's go. Okay, Sky, just so our listeners are locked in from the jump, what is the actual claim we're making about KyoAni today?
The claim is this. Kyoto Animation redefined what beautiful means in anime. Not just pretty, emotionally beautiful. They made slice-of-life prestige television before anyone was calling it that.
And they did it with a level of craft that still makes other studios go, okay, respect. Like the bar they set, visually, emotionally, narratively, it's still the bar.
That's what I'm saying. Still the bar. And look, our audience knows the basics. You've seen the shows. You've felt the feelings. But we want to talk about why it hits the way it hits. The DNA of this studio. The fingerprints they leave on every single frame.
Because there are fingerprints. Once you know what to look for, you cannot unsee them. And that's what makes KyoAni KyoAni.
So, origin story. Because KyoAni didn't start the way people think. They were not born as the emotional gut punch factory we know today.
Right, they actually started in 1981 as an animation subcontractor, like behind-the-scenes work, doing in-between frames for other studios.
Wait, so the studio that makes you sob into your blanket at 2 a.m. was just quietly doing someone else's homework for years?
This is embarrassing, but basically. And then they started producing their own work in the early 2000s. But the real moment, the breakout that put them on the map, was the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya in 2006.
Haruhi. Because Haruhi didn't just do well, it broke the internet, before breaking the internet was even a phrase. That OP dance became a phenomenon. People were recreating it at conventions, on YouTube, everywhere.
And what Haruhi told the industry was, oh, this studio understands character expression in a way that's different. Like, the personality came through the animation in a way that felt alive. And then Lucky Star. And then Clanad. And then K-On! And by that point, it's just, KyoAni has a thing. A very specific, very identifiable thing. The thing! Let's talk about the thing. Because visually, when you watch a KyoAni production, the first thing that hits you is the light. The way they handle natural lighting is almost architectural.
Okay, hear me out. Yes, the soft, diffused light through a window, the golden hour glow that makes every background look like a painting you'd actually hang on your wall.
And the backgrounds are paintings. Their background art team is absurd. Like, they will spend an amount of detail on a classroom window that most studios wouldn't spend on a main character.
And that detail matters because it makes the world feel real, which makes the characters feel real, which makes you cry when something happens to them. It's all connected.
It is literally all connected. The other thing, and this is the one that makes animators go a little crazy, the facial micro-expressions. KyoAni characters don't just emote in the big moments. They're expressive constantly.
In background shots, when they're not even the focus of the scene. A side character will have a fully animated, nuanced reaction happening off to the left, and you catch it, and it makes you feel something you weren't expecting to feel.
And I think that's the DNA, right? The philosophy is every frame is worth caring about. Every face, every background, every light source. Nothing is throwaway.
Nothing is filler, which in anime, that's not always the case. That's a choice. That's a hard choice that takes incredible resources and an incredible team.
And speaking of the team, the masterminds, we have to talk about the people.
Okay, Yasuhiro Takemoto and Naoko Yamada. Two names you need to know if you're serious about understanding this studio.
Yamada first, because she's in a different tier. She directed KyoAni, she directed A Silent Voice, and the way she shoots characters' feet?
Wait, don't say it like that.
No. It's a genuine filmmaking technique. The way she uses feet and hands as emotional focal points instead of always centering on faces, it's cinematic in a way that's more live-action film school than anime production.
It's so intentional. There's an interview where she talks about how a character's posture, their steps, their hands fidgeting, that's where shyness and longing and discomfort actually live in the body. And she animates that.
Which is why A Silent Voice hits the way it hits. Because you're watching a story about a kid who can't face people, and the camera literally avoids faces the way he avoids faces. That's storytelling through cinematography.
That's the kind of thing that makes film students go back and watch it 4 more times with their notes out. Takemoto, also incredible, responsible for so much of the Haruhi and Hyoka era work. Brilliant, warm, meticulous.
And both of them represent what makes the studio so special. It's not one genius. It's a culture of craft. A place where people who care are given space to make things they believe in.
And that brings us to the legacy. Because, and we have to acknowledge this, KyoAni went through something devastating in 2019, the arson attack. And the fact that they came back
Says everything about who they are, their community, their staff, the global fan base that showed up. It was one of the most moving responses I've ever seen to something that terrible.
and they returned with Liz and the Bluebird, and then the Dragon Maid S Season 2, and Suzume was Comics Wave.
Almost gotcha.
Nope. I knew that. Their post-comeback work is proof that the craft didn't diminish. If anything, it's sharper, more intentional.
And what's next? Because fans should absolutely have eyes on the Violet Evergarden theatrical future projects and whatever comes after Bunny Girl Senpai. Wait, that's Cloverworks again.
You almost got me that time.
Ha! But genuinely, keep your eyes on whatever KyoAni announces, because when they drop something, it's not just a release, it's an event. Okay, before we head out, my recommendation this week is Violet Evergarden, and if you've been sleeping on it, that ends now. It is streaming on Netflix, and it is one of the most visually stunning and emotionally precise shows I have ever watched. Like, the craft on display in every single episode is just, it's KyoAni at an absolute peak. Easy 5 out of 5 stars, no hesitation. Watch it.
Stop. 5 stars. Correct answer. No notes.
No notes!
Okay, that's our episode. Kyoto Animation, the kings of emotional polish, the studio that made crying at a cartoon feel like fine art.
I'm not ashamed. I'll never be ashamed. If you enjoyed this, drop us a subscribe and leave us a review. It genuinely helps more than you'd think.
Find us wherever you get your podcasts and come hang out with us on our next episode. We've got more detours worth taking.
This is embarrassing, but we are Another Side Quest podcast. I'm AJ,
I'm Sky.
and we'll see you on the next side quest.